All right, so let's discuss some of the important stuff from this short chapter, the very beginning of Grenade by Alan Gratz. So we open up with Hideki speaking. He is a middle school boy who lives on Okinawa, and as you can see from this map, Okinawa, if you look down in the bottom right hand corner, there's Japan. Okinawa is that small island south of Japan, but it is owned, especially at this time, by Japan. So um, he is a middle school boy, and his school has just been bombed. The American forces are moving in. They're bombing things like crazy all around him. And here he is at his graduation. And it's not a typical middle school graduation like we think about it. He's basically been training for military. All of these boys have. They're learning how to be a part of the Japanese Imperial Army, basically. And so this is a very scary thing for him, as you can imagine. Hideki's just a boy, right? He's probably 12 or 13 years old. Um, or no, it says he's 14. I'm sorry. So he's 14 years old, but he looks 12. And he's hearing these bombs go off around him. He wants to run. That's your natural reaction when you hear this. But they're being told to stand still, to be brave. At which point, they have all these, higher ups and these fancy people that have come out. The governor of Okinawa is there, a Japanese lieutenant colonel. Like, those people don't come to middle school graduation, but they're coming to this one that's taking place at 2 a.m. because it's imperative that they get these boys graduated, get them the tools they need, and then just send them out to start protecting Okinawa. And that's what he says is like, this is your island. It's your job to protect it. The Japanese army might come out, but this you have a stronger connection. And then Lieutenant Colonel Sano goes on to give his, I guess, pep talk is the way I look at it. He's trying to encourage these boys to want to fight. And so he starts telling them about the American soldiers, and he calls them American devils, who are only coming there with the sole purpose of killing them. That's all they want to be there for, is just to kill them, and they're going to find brutal, merciless ways to do that. Now, historically speaking, I am sure some of that happened, but typically they were not out. American soldiers were not out looking for young Japanese boys and kids to kill for fun, as this guy kind of portrays it, right? He says they're going to butcher your brothers and sisters, they're going to torture your mom, they're going to poison you, they're looking to kill your grandparents and burn them alive. That's not what the American soldiers were doing. But this colonel knows exactly what he's doing. He is trying to spark this fear, like, you've got to kill them before they kill you. And he's trying to really get like a fire moving within them, ready to fight. So Hideki starts talking about how long they've been fighting and how this is so important for them, and what their job is. At which time they are starting to get their grenades, right? Each boy's given 2 grenades. And I mean, that's a scary thing in itself, especially back then. Grenades would have been kind of finicky. They could go off on accident. But he's originally given 2 normal metal grenades. But one of the older boys gets 2 ceramic grenades, panics, and steals Hideki's grenades, like switches them out. Because he knows Hideki's not going to do anything about it. He knows that this kid's like a bully, so he knows he's not going to fight back. And the ceramic grenades were especially dangerous. One, because if they crack, they don't have the explosive power necessarily, so they might not work at all. And if you're running at an enemy and you throw something at him thinking it's a grenade and it ends up just being a piece of pottery, that's not going to do anything for you. It puts you in a dangerous situation. But also, if it cracks, it's more likely, it's more volatile, so it's more likely to explode in your backpack and kill you. So Hideki now realizes this horrible thing he has, but they're being told you have 2 grenades. The first is to kill American soldiers. And then once you've killed as many people as you can, you were to use the other one for yourself, because in Japanese culture, it is considered shameful to be taken as a prisoner. You can die in battle, but you cannot be taken as a prisoner. So they're being told, be brave, do what you've got to do, but you have to take your own life after you take the American lives. And we're given the inferencing that we need to make here, because we don't know much about Hideki's family until he says, I can finally overcome my family's curse. I can prove to Lieutenant Colonel Sano and to Yoshio and to everyone that I really am brave, and I can make the Kenishiro family fearless again. So it's implied, this is our inferencing skills, we've got some clues, that at some time something happened within his family that shame was brought upon their family. And people see them as cowards. And he's like, if I do the right thing, maybe my family's name will be redeemed. So that's where we're at with Hideki's side of the story.